How's it going, guys? I wanted to touch on a subject that's been really fascinating to me. And I know I've talked about this before, and I can't seem to get past it because this is like history in the making. But the situation that's going on with Lebanon, to me, a lot of people say, well, who cares about that? That has nothing to do with America. So what? And to me, I look at it as kind of like a case study, as to look at this, and you can compare it to other nations. I mean, Venezuela's gone through the same situation. And a lot of people think that can never happen here in America, and maybe it could, maybe it couldn't. But if it did, things tend to play out in similar fashions. So I look at this, I'm like, wow, this is fascinating. So, when you have a situation where there's a total breakdown in the economic system and the banking system in the country, I wondered how precious metals could save. Of course, it's going to save your wealth, but in times of, when you're in a crunch for dollars, for cash, could it help you? And I'm looking, I couldn't find many articles, but I see right here, in this situation, people are selling their jewelry. It says she took her 2-year-old daughter's tiny bracelet engraved with Angie in cursive and handed it to the gold merchant. He weighed it along with Itani's wedding bangles and a few other pieces of her daughter's jewelry, and then offered her $84 for the modest collection. So people are selling their jewelry to get money all across Lebanon and Beirut. Gold chains, wedding bands, and it's really interesting. This is what people are doing, and this is saving people's lives. I mean, certain people have children or family members that have medical conditions, and they can't generate enough dollars to get treatment for their loved ones, so they're selling off their jewelry. And this is what this stuff is for. This is what jewelry is for. At the end of the day, it's used when you need it as a store of value to get cash. So this is, looking at this right here, it says they took everything we had at the hospital, she said, as she waited late last month to finish the transaction with the gold merchant. The gold merchant who bought Etiani's gold jewelry sold it in turn to another buyer to melt it down, then take it to a wholesaler. So there's a demand for gold. There's a demand. Here's another article right here from the Commerce. Again, it just details that more people are selling jewelry to get real dollars. Because at the end of the day, what's more important? Jewelry or eating or getting medicine for someone who's sick or getting treatment for someone who's sick? This guy right here, it says, although the sale of the jewelry is traditionally a woman's business, some men are beginning to brave their embarrassment of selling the jewelry of the women in their family. And this is the case of young Malik in his 20s, who is about to give up one of his mother's necklaces so that he can repair his car. The price of the spare part I need is in dollars. I have no other way to find dollars, he sighed. And this is what people are doing. There's one last article right here. People are selling their gold to pay hospital fees, tuition fees, loans on their homes, which they can't even pay now. They would rather be. This is crazy. But again, these things serve a purpose, and that's what they're for. Is to preserve wealth, and in times of disaster, these assets can save you. They can totally save you. I'm just looking at the price. They had let me see. Let's see here. So it says right here, and this is an old article. This is 2020, by the way, but it says that the yellow metals price is rising sharply, galvanized by the global COVID-19 pandemic. Gold prices are on the rise. It said gold reached a new high in mid-April, which is 2020, at $1,775 per ounce before falling slightly. So the gold price, for these people, this has been a godsend for them. Anyone who's holding precious metals, again, it doesn't say people who are holding bullion. It just says jewelry right now, jewelry. But for people who are holding bullion, these people would be saved. And this is why people want to get into this space. The central bank, I'm just looking at this right here, Lebanon Central Bank, it says they have not had an audit in 30 years. They had not counted their gold for 30 years. And this is not unique to Lebanon. This is the same situation with America, in the U.S. rather. This country has not had a real audit at Fort Knox, where the gold is. A lot of people say that we don't have as much gold as they say they do. They don't think it's all there or any of it's there. I don't know, but these banks cannot be trusted, and it just shows you, with these people who have jewelry, you can function as your own central bank, right? You have your gold, you have your silver, and in times of shortages of dollars, when you need cash and you can't get access to it, right? You can skirt the system. Instead of going to the ATM machine, you go to your own bank, because you are central bank, and then you say, hey, here's my gold bullion or my silver bullion. I want dollars for this. And while everyone else is hurting, you can be the one who's out there who can, be, the Rock of Gibraltar for these people and help people out and save yourself. So it does serve a purpose. So that's very reassuring to know that these assets can save you in these tough times. So it's very reassuring. But they're having all kinds of situations, and people are robbing banks. They're robbing banks to get their money out. They can't get their own money out, so they're robbing the banks. I'm going to show you a video of this. People who are robbing banks to get their own money. It's really crazy.
Bank raids like this are happening all over Lebanon, which is currently in one of the most catastrophic economic crises in modern history. Years of bad economic policies and sprawling government corruption came crashing down in 2019, leading to mass protests. The Lebanese lira lost nearly 95% of its value, plunging 3/4 of the population below the poverty line. Banks in Lebanon made things worse by limiting people to taking out only $400 a month of their own money. But due to widespread corruption, those with political connections have been able to secretly transfer billions of dollars abroad, enraging the public. This has led some depositors to take up arms and demand their money. Since July, more than a dozen people have raided banks and walked away with part of their savings. But they're not acting alone. They're backed by groups calling for a depositors' revolution. We're inside a bank in Beirut where there are depositors currently holding it up. He has a gun in his hand and a Molotov cocktail. Have any of you already tried to get your money out of the bank, and what has happened? What have they said to you when you've done that?
ولم نترك أي سبيل إلا سلكناه للمطالبة بالودائع، وحتى أثناء الحركة اللي عم نعملها والاقتحامات اللي عم بتصير كنا بموازاة الاقتحامات عم نراجع القضاء.
أنا من زمان جربت إني روح طالب بمصرياتي لأنه أنا حسابي جاري، واجتمعت مع المدير وقلت له أنا بدي مصرياتي، قال لي ما فيي أعمل لك شيء.
مقدم دعوة، قدمت له نوراء، قدمت دعوة حتى ببنك، ولحد هلا يعني ما تجاوبوا، يعني بدي بيع كليتي.
Your kid.
كلية نعم، لحتى أعلم ابني. نعم.
لحظة he sold it already. تعال قال لك أنت قبض $7,000.
جابت $7,000 من الزلمة بس فقط لكلم العلم ابني. 30 طاي يعني قبل بنهار من إدرا السنة فات على العملية انتهينا وخلصين. قابض من الزلمة 7,000 وما حدا عارف. $7,000 هلا بعدين له رديت له منهم 3,850 بعدين له بدمتي 3,150 وحتى جمعة الماضي عدت تواصلت معه لعود اعطيه الكلية وقفني الاستاذ رامي قال لي طول بالك نحن رح نجرب نشوف شو الطريقة لهالشان.
Have you, before this banking crisis, before everything that's been taking place, had you ever broken the law? Had you ever committed a crime?
No, أبداً.
لا ولا مرة. أنا معي شهادة حسن السوق من قوى الأمن الداخلي طالع إنه ما علي ولا شيء صغير بلبنان.
And right now, hypothetically, would you be willing to hold up a bank? Yes or no?
بأتم الاستعداد لأنه صبرنا خلص 3 سنين. بدنا مصرياتنا.
ما عاد عندنا إلا هي الحل.
Is everybody willing to use force? What would you use if you were to hold up a bank?
بالمولوتوف حنفوت على البنك، حنفوت بسلاح حقيقي. بدنا ناخد ودايعنا. ممنوع يشطبوا الودائع.
This is a Molotov cocktail.
Yes.
You're ready to use this.
نعم.
But are you not afraid of hurting people?
لا نحن مضطرين.
But there may be innocent people who could be injured or even killed.
مش ذنبي، هيدا ذنب أصحاب البنوك. هن اللي عم بيحطوا هول الناس بخطر. هن اللي سارقين حاجزين مصاري العالم وعم بيحطوا هيدي الناس بخطر، مش ذنبي أنا.
How many of these do you have?
قد ما بدنا فينا نعمل.
And you know how to use these?
نتعلم. نحن ما كنا بنستعمل مولوتوف قبل، هلا بدنا نتعلم.
ما حبينا هالشغله، اساسا ما حبينا، نحن مجبرين، اجبرونا هن.
You're all saying that you're ready to die doing this.
نعم.
مثل ما عم تقول استنفذت جميع الوسائل.
تخاف؟
لا كلنا بشر، بطلنا نخاف.
كلكم أسألكم كلكم تخافون؟
لا
وصلوا بلدنا بلد زبالة، خليه ينفض الخوف عنه. هالخوف والرعب اللي عم يحطوه فينا بدنا نرفضه، بدنا نزيلهم من محلهم، يا نحن يا هن، ما عاد فينا نعيش هيك.